We got this package in the mail today from Amazon. Now I understand why the FrySky TMC2208 stepper drivers are so expensive. It says it's from Russia and more. White. Made in China. Well, usually it'll focus. Alright, last try. Come on. Oh, my camera just sucks. Oh, kinda did. And it said no. Anyway, trust me. I think I know why they're so expensive. The other ones just came in a little Ziploc baggie on a little piece of foam. This one's in a hard plastic case. If I'm not mistaken, that's a screwdriver there beside it. The other one came with a screwdriver too, so let's go ahead and cut this open. I say cut because I tried to tear it open and that didn't get me anywhere. We'll cut the top. See if it'll open now. They may have heat sealed it. Hopefully not, because these are kind of neat little baggies to have around. Plus I put the old one in here. Nope, it did open. There's a screwdriver. There's the stepper driver, and there's this rolled up thing I'm guessing is the instructions. Nothing else in the baggie. This is upside down. We are a professional 3D accessory manufacturer. Focus on every 3D printer parts. Thank you for choice us. Need more help? Feels free to contact us. Clearly, Chinglish. On the back, thank you for your purchase. We are... Yeah, I don't think I can say that on here. Let's see if the camera will focus on that name. Oh, it won't focus. Come on. I'll spell it. F-U-Y-U. A-N-S-H-A-N-G, Customer Service Team. We sincerely hope you are satisfied with our product. In order to reward your trust and improve our services, we prepare an amazing gift for you. Feel free to contact us at, and they give their email. Amazon ID must be entered to verify purchase for your free mystery gift. It is already prepared. Otherwise, if there's anything else you need further, contact us via the above email. Fine. I don't know why the word fine is there. Gifts are limited. Coming contacts, we want you now. Okay, now I'm feeling uncomfortable. Look forward to your email and wish happiness around you always. And then that name, Customer Service Team. F-U-S-Y or F-U-Y-U-A-N-S-H-E-N-G. Well, thank you. Anyway, there's the little stepper driver. Like I said, it's a little blue and white. The FrySky version, or FrySky, or FryTech, or however you want to pronounce it. The one everybody says works. Got the little heatsink. It's got the tape on the bottom. But this is normally what I would get from the other ones. It's just a little stepper on a piece of foam stuck in a plastic bag. This one came in a case. So I'm going to bet these pins are straight. And they look damn straight to me. Look straight to you? They look damn straight. So that should just slide right in without any issues. Everything on the bottom. Now one thing I do see, God damn it, this camera sucks. I really wanted to zoom in on that. There is no adjustment on the top of this for the little screwdriver. Wait, I take that back. A little teeny tiny hole that my camera won't focus in on. Come on, focus. Let's see if I can tilt you up a little. There's a little teeny, God, no, it was almost there. But anyway, trust me, there's a little silver dot right there, and this screwdriver just fits inside of it. Just like that, and it can be adjusted. I'm not turning it, I'm just kind of holding it in there. I don't know any idea where it's at. But I'm going to start off at 1.0 volt. I know that's lower than what they actually recommend. And then see how it does. And then we're going to jump up to 1.2, which they do recommend. See how that works. If needed, if it works on 1.0, I'm leaving it there. 1.2 doesn't work, we're going to go up to 1.3. 1.4, 1.5, so on and so forth, until it works. 1.8 is my maximum. If it doesn't work at 1.8, I'm sending this one and the other one back. Because I don't have any need for them. They can't handle my printer. I'm sure it will. There's lots of other people out there. There's a few people on Facebook, Amazon, the Thingiverse forums. There's YouTube videos with this very specific TMC2208 chip. It says it works. I'm not going to do UART. I'm just going to leave it in single stepper mode, standalone. Hopefully, as you can hear, my printer over there, that's all the Y-axis. It's just moving that bed back and forth. That and the power supply fan. Can't do anything about that damn power supply fan. I did get a quieter one. It's even 24 volts. And it's pretty much dead silent. Same voltage, same amperage as the fan that's in it. Much quieter. Doesn't move even a tenth of the air that the one on the power supply does, though it came with it. I'd rather have my power supply cool and not blow up than silent and blow up someday. So we left it as is. I actually have a print that's going on right now. It's going to go for a while. When it finishes, however, put this in. I'll let you guys hear or not hear how it sounds. Let you see how it prints or doesn't print. And hopefully all goes well. For the most part, this is probably the last mod that I really have to do to my printer. I mean, I don't have to do any of them. I just want it to be quieter. I want it to work. You know, going faster isn't necessarily my goal. I'm happy at 60 millimeters a second. If I can go 100, even better. But I'm happy at 60. I just want it to be quieter. Now with the old steppers, as you saw in my videos, it was quieter. It just didn't print worth a shit. So hopefully, this one will. We'll be back. Well, I just installed that new TMC2208, the blue and white one. I just flashed the firmware to flip the directions for the Y. X I already had done because I already had the yellow one in. And we're almost up to temp. Oh, wait, he's waking up. Clean off that little mess under there, under the nozzle. And definitely quieter. Now we're at 1.2 volts. Let's see if it can handle the Anycubic bed. There's a little nugget in there. I thought I peeled it off. Got it. Well, it's definitely printing, not necessarily better, but with the new head and everything and the mounts I did with that Bantam mount, is good. Now let's just hope the print itself doesn't do any kind of weird layer shifts to the Y. Now I've only set it at 1.2. Actually, it's at 1.22. I couldn't get it to settle on 2.0. It kind of kept bouncing from 1.19 to 1.22 to 1.23. So I just went with the 2.2. My fan's just kicking on. So we're on to the second layer. That's when my fans kick on. They're at 100%. They're not too loud. The first one's a little messy there, but I think that's because I had that little gobber on the end of the hot end. I thought I got it off, but I obviously didn't. But what I'm looking for here is layer shifts. If this driver can do it, that would be frigging great. If not, fuck it. Sending them all back, and I'm going all back stock. Stock ones could actually do it at 0.86 volts on all four of the motors. The yellow one that's running the X, we're at 1.01, and it's doing great. And that was with both the yellow drivers, neither of which could handle the Y-axis. They shifted all over the place. Now this one in particular on the Y-axis is the Fly Sky or Fritzky or Frit Tech, the blue and white one. I got a link down below, the one you should buy. And fingers crossed. Everybody says 1.2 volts is where it needs to be on the Chiron or Huron. I've got it at 1.22, and I'm just going to look. That bottom layer looks pretty damn good. And as you can hear, it's silent. I hear the two fans on top, and I hear the blower motor for the power supply. And of course my mouth yapping. And yes, that's still the stock Benchy at 60 millimeters per second. I don't know if that light helps you or makes it worse. Now, the very first layer screwed up because I had that little gobstopper on the end of the hot end. I cleaned that off, and it appears that it is printing pretty damn nice. Now the main feature of those is to print nice. The silence just a side effect, but that's the effect I wanted. So I got the silence. I knew it would do that. I just don't want any layer shifts. And it looks pretty damn good. Now the other day when I tried this with the other steppers, I got up to like 12-13% before I even noticed a little line. And then I was up to 50% before it started like really layering across. I think, if I remember right, the Benchy is what, an hour? 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes, something like that. I'm not going to make you sit and watch an hour and some odd minutes of this. You know, I'll jump back and forth, fast forward if everything's going good. I might just stop and pause it actually and come back and check it every 10%. But so far, it's coming out pretty good. It doesn't help you any. I'm going to get it when you see the layers, but it's about the best I can do. Right there, you can hear it laying down the grid for the infill. Usually is when it's its loudest. I just heard it. It went whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Oh, it would be fabulous if this could handle it. I was just thinking, I should be able to look at the infill and see if they're crisp lines or not. And they look like they are. Because when it was shifting, obviously those boxes wouldn't be nice and square, they'd be a mess. Those look like pretty nice squares so far. Fingers crossed. And then hopefully then we can put the brackets in, the bracing for the Z gantry, the back and forth ones. But I'll show you those if well, I'm going to do them. I'll show you those when I do them, and the mounts and everything. There is a set on Thingiverse, but there's another guy on Facebook, Chris. He had an adapted version so you could still go your full layer height at 450 millimeters tall. The ones on Thingiverse get in the way and you will hit it. He adapted them. They're just a little bit longer in the front. I want to say an inch or two. And they're a little bit more robust to handle that spread. I've printed them, actually. Let me show you. And this is what I'm talking about. Way too close for you. I'll set it down there. There we go. And this is the one that's longer in the front. I guess it's only about an inch or so longer. And what that does is allow you to keep all your stock settings and still go the full height with the gantry and not worry about hitting it with the hot end or anything when it homes on X. Like I said, it's pretty robust. I probably overkilled it because I did it at 100% infill. That thing's like a brick. It ain't gonna break. Probably stronger than the damn frame that the thing's made out of. And then those braces are the last mod that I really know of or can think of at the moment. The silencing part right now that you're not hearing was the one I truly, truly wanted, and I wanted it to work. And it looks and sounds like it is. I'm just going to look at those little infill patterns, and they still look nice and square. Now granted, those dual fangs are in the way. I can't see everything, but it looks like they're nice and square. You can kind of see them from your point of view. Not really. You really have to be up here looking down. But I'm going to just let it run. What are we? We're 12 minutes in. We're at 7%. I think it was right around 10 to 12% where I first noticed the layer shift before. Before that, it looked okay. So, let's see what happens. And I just heard that little thunk, like it skipped. We're at 12 minutes, 7%. That thunk is usually a layer shift. I got to know that sound real well on the other one. Did it just shift? I'm not exactly sure. It looks like it did. There isn't a real way to test this besides just printing and waiting until it messes up. I'm not sure if it did or not. I think it did. They're not as nice and crisp as they were, but see behind it. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Lift the axis. Go ahead and home it. I'll show you why I stopped it. I don't know if you can see that, but it is definitely layer shifting to the Y. See that? It's still nice and smooth, but it is moving over. There's the side shifting, and the side that you can't tell that it's moving over really. The side that's facing me, it's the hard one. This side, and yes, it is definitely layer shifting. And that would be my phone. Shut that shit off. Don't you know I'm trying to work? So 1.2 volts was not enough. Darn it. I thought I told it to cool down. There we go. Well, I'm going to cool it down. We're at 1.22, and looking at how much that shifted, I'm just going to go right up to 1.4 and then test it again. Hopefully you can see in there. That's what I was saying. I started to see that it was crossing. It wasn't as nice and square as it was like just a few layers before that was perfect. And then it started doing this. The thing is it's so subtle. It moves over like a fraction of a millimeter each time. So you really have to be paying attention to know that it did it. But yeah, there you can clearly see the difference. So disappointing. See if I can get, there we go, we got the back to focus in. You see how far off that left hand side is. I'm going to get the front to do that. No, I guess my camera's a pain in my ass. But anyway, so we're going to try 1.4. 1.2 was a fail. I'll go as high as 1.8, but that's it. If that doesn't work, then I don't know what the hell. Because the stock driver works just fine. It's just noisy. But it works. It makes no damn sense to me. We're down to 70 degrees. I'm not going to make you wait anymore. I'm going to shut you off. Make some adjustments to the stepper driver. Like I said, we're going to go to 1.4. And we'll be back. Okay, I've already reset it. We went up to 1.4 volts, exactly 1.40 on the VREF. We're already 10 minutes in and 6%. Now I wanted to go over the G code I'm using for that little benchy. It's the same one I use for my stock drivers. Same fan setting, same 10% infill, same 60 millimeters per second. My stock drivers do it with no problem. They're just loud. but they work perfectly fine. The reason I'm doing a 10% infill is I can see those squares. If those squares aren't nice and crisp, I know there's an issue. If they stay nice and crisp, it should be fine. And up to this point, they have been. Like I said, I got to 1.40, and they still look nice and crisp. So did the other one. It's all like midway through 7%, it's screwed up. So we're going to listen for that little skip that it does. I'm hoping it doesn't. And just see, hopefully it just moves right on through like it's supposed to. We just hit 7% for only 11 minutes. Last time I just heard it. Shit. Did you hear that? Heard that little yeah. Yeah. I wonder why it's right at that layer. Actually though, it looks really bad. It does. Damn it. Let's go ahead and stop it. But it's so quiet. Damn it, I want it to work. Wait for the Z-axis to home. It doesn't like to cool or do anything while it's printing. Even though I already told it to stop. Alright, let's see if we can get it to cool. All set back to 0. The bed is still locked. I don't know why it locks the bed. Pull that off. And you can see we have layer shift. Not as badly as the one on the right, but we do have layer shift. It's getting in there. Now, I had those other ones up to 1.8, and I just said I ain't going any higher. I hope this doesn't do the same thing. It's just so sad. Why won't they work? I did the 1.5. It still layer shifted. Moved it over to 1.6, which is where we are now. And I was doing that with my little cheapy Harbor Freight multimeter. Figured, okay, that's the problem. So I went out to my tool bag and my electronics and got my good multimeter with the graph on it. Now my Harbor Freight meter, it was at 1.6. On my really good digital multimeter, it was at 1.6002. Close enough. So now we're testing it. We're only at 5% in 8 minutes. I just wanted to give you a little bird's eye view and talk a little. Show you the two different meters I used. And as before, the squares at this point are perfect. It's right at that 7% point that I hear it skip. And I'll be quiet this time, so hopefully you guys hear it. Straighten you out a little bit. Even lower you down a little. There we go. And those squares, the infill, at this point, are nice, crisp, sharp corners. We're up to 5%, 9 minutes. Yes, that means 3 minutes of watching this. You can skip ahead if you like. Fans are all running. We're at 6%. 10 minutes. Still looks like nice, clean, crisp corners. And then I'm just going to be quiet now. We're going to wait for hopefully no thump as it skips. And wait. %. You heard it thump. Same exact spot. What is different from these drivers than the stock ones? I'm at 1.6 volts and it still thumps when it hits 7% and starts layer shifting. Motor's nice and cool though. I mean, we're only 11 minutes into a crank. Oddly though, it still looks like it's nice and smooth. Shine a light on it. As you can clearly see, it's shifting. The right side here, top side, left side. Those squares are not so nice and crisp. Hopefully I get it to focus. You kind of see it there. They were crisp just before this part. When it hits 7%, it all goes to hell. I'm wondering, when they come out of the box factory, they're all set at 1.0 volts. And then I've gone up from there. My stock drivers are at 0.86. What if I'm going too high with the voltage and it's pushing it away? What if I go lower? If I drop it down to 0.86. I mean, it can't get any worse. I don't really want to go any higher, although the motor's ice cold. And it was only, I think, about 10 minutes, something like that into it. think I am. I'm going to go below 1 volt just to see what happens. Let's go to like 0.9. 0.9. We're at 0.16002 at the moment. Maybe I'm overthinking it and I'm pushing it further, although they're getting better. They're closer than they were. But that's maybe because I've overdone it. Let's drop it the other way. Let's do it. Well, I wasn't going to turn this on until 6%, but I turned it down to 0.9 on the voltage reference. And now I've got this odd vibration. My z-axis on the left-hand side is vibrating. The bed is kind of... It's not skipping though. It's actually printing pretty good, but it's got an odd little resonance going on. Resonance? Resonance. However you want to say it. It's an odd vibration. Not sure what that is. And I can just hear it. It's like there's a loose, something's loose that's just wiggling. And it's like up in the top. And yes, I actually did take the little rubber caps out and check the screws that they were tight. They are tight. It's just odd. Now it's doing a little bit bigger strokes. There's just no appropriate way to say it. I'm sorry. And, oh, hear it? And then it stopped. We're only at 3%. We're only like 5 minutes in. But that noise was kind of disconcerting. Thought maybe one of my tennis ball feet came out, but no. Well, there's definitely a vibration in it. But it's not skipping at this point. It never skips or doesn't seem to till right at 7%. It's just... I don't know what the hell. But if this one does it, I'm just going back to the step drivers and returning the TMC2208s. I don't know. Maybe you have to run them in UART mode to make them work. Maybe everyone that I've seen in the videos are lying. Or maybe they only print 6%, then they call it good and go off and do their thing. I don't know. Print's really nice up, well actually print's really nice up past that. It's just shifting over in the layers. That doesn't work for me. I will have to take loud drivers over quiet. It needs to print. And this printer does print really, really well with the stock drivers. So this is pretty much the last chance for stepper drivers and 2208s for me anyway. I tried the inexpensive ones. They weren't cheap. They were still like 10 bucks each. And now I'm on the really good ones that everyone says are great. They're like $14 a piece. I started off at 1 volt, 1.1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. And right here, right now, we're at 0.90 VREF on the y-axis. And it either works, or we're going just right back to the stock driver on that. Yeah, there's an odd little vibration somewhere. And I would almost be willing to say, okay, well, that's what's causing all my problems. But then why does the stock drivers print perfect? They're loud, not loud enough to cover up that vibration. I would hear that vibration on the stock drivers. But they print, and I just heard it skip. We're only at 5%, it just did it. I'm going to let it keep going though for a little while, because it still looks good. Skipped again, and again. So that's like 3 skips already. I want to get up to that 7% and then look at it. I so badly want these drivers to work though. I want them to be quiet. And it is. I mean, that part does work. We're up to 6%, 10 minutes. I'll have to go back and review these videos and see if I can see it jump. But I can see the Y motor in the back. I can see the pulley, the little set screw in it. I should be able to see if it jumps. I didn't see him before, but then I wasn't expecting him. I wasn't really looking for it until we hit 7%. 10 minutes, 6%. 3.2 millimeters high. 11 minutes, 6%. We're at 3.35 millimeters. We just hit 7% at 11 minutes. I heard it and saw it. You had to have as well. Damn it. And it's not like it skipped actually, it's like it pulled too hard too fast. It pulled it to the back. Maybe it's still too high? Came down to 0.7? I thought the whole point of these things is they ran at a higher voltage, but they were quiet and did better. I'd be willing to put it down to 0.1 or 0.07. See what it does. Irritating. And it's not so much the money. I mean, yeah, it's 20 bucks-ish, $15, I guess. I mean, I can send it back and get my money, but I want it to work. Other people says theirs work. Why won't mine? I'm doing everything exactly right. We're up to 8%, 12 minutes, 4.4 millimeters high. I'll let it go to 15 minutes. We'll just stop it and pick it up and look at it. I'm sure it's going to be pretty bad. I heard it skip, I think, 4 times. Right there at the 5%. There's 2 or 3. And then at the 7%. Oh, just heard it again. I thought they said skipping only happened when it was under voltage. I'm not going to go to 15. There's no reason to. I can see it. Move that out of the way. Pull him off. Oh, missed the skirt. Where'd the skirt go? Well, that little hair is where I stopped it, obviously. Ooh. Which actually looks the worst of them all. See that big line in there? That was that big thump we all heard at 7%. And clearly drifting on the y-axis, shifting. Why? Why does it do that? You can clearly see it moving way over. I've had one where I just let it go and it just gets really bad. Looks like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon, just smeared. Well, that's the shits. Tried. Yeah, it's really bad. I don't think there's any reason to go down to 0.7. I mean, it was bad. That's out of that line. That's not from the edge. That's from pulling it out of that line where it jumped. The big scar in there. I think I'm going to do one last little try. I'm going to move it up to 1.8. See if that'll work. If not, well, fuck. I'm at a loss, though, as to why other people say it works for them. I've done everything exactly the same. I can now say I went 0.9, 1.0, 1.2, because I actually couldn't get 1.1 to cycle in right. So 1.22, I think it was, 1.3, 1.4, jumped to 1.6, and now we're going to go to 1.8. And that is absolutely the last time I will try. 1.8. It's way beyond what it should have to be. According to the formula that it comes with it, it should be like right around 1.23, 1.25. The jump, the skip, I might go along with some of you that are saying it's hardware issue. But if that's the case, why do my stock drivers at 0.86 work just fine? You can see my other videos. I can print. It does print quite well when I'm at those settings with the stock driver. Why will not the TMC2208? Really, really irritating. And I can't say that they're all bad. I can't. That's just, no. I think it's just the driver itself doesn't work with this bed. This bed is too heavy for him. That's my conclusion earlier, and it's still my conclusion. This bed is too big for a 2208. It can't handle it. So I'm going to jump it up 1.8. If I don't come back, and this is the last part of the video, it didn't work. I went back to stock, and I sent these drivers back to wherever they came from packing. And got my money to buy more filament. More yellow. I need more yellow filament. If anyone's out there, yeah. ZYL Tech or WYZ Works. Either filament I'm good with. Yellow. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I'm not giving my addresses to you people. It's bad enough I know where I live. Yeah. Alright, hopefully you'll be hearing from me at 1.8 and it's working. If not, see you in the next videos. I know I said I was not going to revisit this unless it was a success. However, I was bouncing around the forums and something that was brought to my attention that I didn't catch before. Everyone who puts the TMC2208 stepper drivers in their printers do not change the firmware. They take the wires and physically, manually flip them over. They reverse them physically, not in the software. The only one person I can find that changed the software was on Teaching Tech, and that was on a Creality Ender 3. He went into the software, changed the firmware, and left the hardware alone. The other, I think there was 4 of them, changed the wires, not the software. I can't see what difference it would be from changing the software over the hardware, because the software just goes in and says pin 1 is now pin 3 and pin 3 is now pin 1. It's the same thing as reversing the wires. It shouldn't make a difference. But that's the only thing different that I haven't done. A couple of people on Facebook that said that it works for them have yet to reply. Is it the wiring? Does it really make a difference? I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, it's simple. It's just 4 wires and you only have to flip 2 of them over. But I'm thinking I don't want to do that. We are at 1.8 volts here on the VREF. I think it came out exactly to 1.8003 is where I got it at. Another side effect that I didn't actually even think about, I was actually checking the temp of my Y motor, and my power supply motor fan is so high, it hits that back wall, and then comes right back under the bed, cools that motor off, actually cools the back side of the bed off, but I've got a thermal gun, and that hotbed is 50 degrees every spot I touch. All these little crosses that you see, that's usually what I do, is I hit those with, well, let me see this one. I hit those with my thermal gun, and they're all at 50 degrees, which is where I have it set. Here's a little side note. We're past 7% at 12 minutes. I didn't hear the thump where it skipped. It did not thump. And it didn't make any of those odd little rattles that it did when I was down on 0.9 volts. Huh. 1.8003, the key number. Trying to get to where I can feel my X. The X is cold. The Y motor is actually just a little warm. I'd say maybe 30, 31 degrees Celsius. That's just a guess. We're at 12 minutes, 7%. Didn't hear a thump. Didn't sound like it skipped. Let's take a look. It actually looked pretty good. Let's look down on those squares. They still look pretty good. I wasted all that time going down to 0.9 and I should have went to 1.8. I think we have it. We're at 8%, 13 minutes, 4.85 millimeters high. I need a bigger house. By Jove, I think we have it. I mean, this is just one print, and we're not even done with it. Only 9% in, but what was that, 3, 4? There's another one around here somewhere. I got 4 of them that didn't make it past 7%. We're at 9. Yeah. Now, I did that with the other stepper driver. I was at I shouldn't say it. I'm going to curse myself. Or jinx, whatever you want to say. I was at, what was I at? 1.8? Was it 1.7? I don't remember now. You have to watch my other video. Print it flawlessly until it got up to the very roof of the benchy. Then it just started layer shifting the whole roof over. The smokestack was fine, but the roof itself was pushed over at least half an inch. I actually have it. Here, I'll show you. Where is it? All the way over here. Oh, you're fine. And this one printed perfectly fine. No layer shifting on the hull of that boat at all. Printed absolutely great until the roof, as you can see. And then it layer shifted. Huge overhang on the y-axis. Flip over so you can see this side. Yep. Let's put a little white paper into there. Will that help? Not really. But anyway, wait, now you can see it. You see that layer shift. And everything was great up to that point. Even the overhang in here is like fucking perfect. I was ecstatic up to that point. And then it went south. No idea why. Motor got hot? Nope, didn't get hot. I think it was running at like 38 degrees Celsius. So that's what the other stepper did at a higher voltage. We're at 11%, 17 minutes. I'm just going to let it go. It seems good. The only way I'm going to really know is just to let it finish now. Fingers crossed. I will be back regardless with the end of print of this. Good or bad. I'm hoping it's good. Yep. 1.22, I think it was. 1.4. Not 1 or 0.09. Oh no, 0.6. 0.09. And then the 1.8. It was frigging fabulous. Right up until the layer shift. And this was a big layer shift. About a 1/4 inch. Just moved over for no reason. Went from here all the way over to there. It didn't like bounce around and put a couple layers down. No, it just moved over a 1/4 inch. It was doing absolutely beautiful up until then. So, pulled the blue and white one out. The yellow and black one out. Put the stock green one back in. I'm protecting this one because this one works. It's one of the 5 that were in it. I currently have this yellow one on the x-axis. It's working flawlessly, but none of them can handle the y-axis with the bed on it. It pretends to, and then just out of nowhere, for no reason that I can fathom, it just says no. Just complete layer shift. Not a gradual, just jumped. Put the stock one back in. Again, it's just the regular, the green one that I just showed you over here. And I get this. It's a little bit of overhang here on the roof. Well, now my finger's in the way. But no layer shift. And I would call that a good print, not great. But it was pretty good. All the layers are where they're supposed to be. You tell me, because I'm done. Sticking with the stock drivers. I'll deal with the noise. Saves me money on the fans. No sense replacing them if the Y driver is just as loud as the fans. So it does pretty damn good prints. I was just trying to make it quieter. And none of the drivers can handle this bed. That's all I got. Thank you.